There's a moment, subtle, silent, and almost invisible, that happens between a man and a woman, and it changes everything. She's married, she has a ring, she has responsibilities, she walks through life with a script, one she's expected to follow. And yet, when you enter the room, something in her shifts. It's not loud, it's not flirtatious, it's not scandalous, but it's there. She smiles just a little longer than she should. She lingers after conversations with you that didn't need to last that long. She brings up something you said weeks ago, something no one else would have remembered. She finds excuses to be near you even when there's no real reason to be. You start to wonder, is she just friendly, or is there something else here? Am I imagining this, or is she feeling it too? Is she drawn to me but trying not to show it? Here's the truth. Here's the truth. She's not going to tell you. She can't. Not because she doesn't feel it, but because her world is built on not admitting it. So what does she do instead? She drops clues. She leaks it through body language, timing, tone, and tension. She won't say it out loud, but her subconscious is already talking. And only a man who's grounded, present, and deeply perceptive will recognize those signals when they appear. That's where this video begins. We're not chasing women. We're not here to seduce married hearts. We're here to understand human behavior at its rawest, to know when attraction is happening, even when it's hiding behind responsibility. Because as a Stoic man, you don't move with fantasy. You move with clarity. And these 5 hidden clues, they're not just signs of her attraction. They're proof of how powerful your presence has become, even in the places no one dares speak of. Let's begin. In a world filled with noise, most men only listen to what's loud. They chase words. They react to obvious smiles, playful jokes, and the kind of attention that leaves no room for doubt. But a Stoic man, he sees the things others overlook. He notices the subtleties. He listens to what's not being said, because attraction doesn't always announce itself. Real attraction doesn't always announce itself, especially not when it comes from a woman who's already chosen a path, a woman who lives behind vows, routines, and expectations. Yes, she's married, she has a home, a ring, a husband, a life. But she's also human. She still feels. She still notices. And sometimes, often when she least expects it, she finds herself drawn to a man who carries something different. He doesn't seek her out. He doesn't flirt. He doesn't chase. He simply exists with presence, grounded energy, and emotional depth. And that alone awakens something in her. At first, she resists it. She tells herself it's nothing, but her instincts know better. And so she doesn't need to ask a text, reveal tiny cracks in the armor, a question she didn't need to ask, a text she didn't have to send, a conversation that drifts beyond surface level, a look that says far more than her words ever could. But here's what separates the aware man from the unaware. He doesn't mistake these for coincidences. He sees the pattern, the frequency, the emotional charge buried inside the ordinary. He doesn't need confirmation. He already knows, because when a woman is married but emotionally intrigued by another man, she can't say it directly. She won't admit it, not to you, not even to herself. But her behavior tells a different story. And if you're perceptive, if you're composed enough not to chase but present enough to observe, you'll notice 5 incredibly subtle but powerful clues that reveal what she's truly feeling underneath the surface. This isn't about betrayal. This isn't about crossing lines. This is about becoming the kind of man whose presence naturally attracts attention, even from women who aren't supposed to be paying attention at all. This is not about ego. It's about awareness. And if you're the kind of man who leads, not reacts, the kind of man who reads energy, not noise, then what I'm about to share will open your eyes to a whole new dimension of female psychology. She gives you full attention. Let's uncover the 5 hidden clues right now. Clue number 1, she gives you her full attention even when she doesn't have to. In a world filled with distractions where everyone's checking phones, glancing around the room, or half listening to half conversations, her attention stands out like a spotlight. She listens to you not just with her ears, but with her entire body. She nods. She reacts. She leans in slightly even when she tries to act casual. And most noticeably, she holds eye contact, but in a way that carries emotional tension. This isn't surface-level politeness. It's focus. She may have 10 other things to do. She may be in a crowded room with people who should matter more to her. But when you speak, something inside her pauses. Her nervous system tunes in, and you become the center of her attention. Now, a woman who's attracted but bound by her role as a wife won't make this obvious. She'll frame it as being interested or just being a good listener, but you'll know better because the way she listens to you feels different from how she listens to anyone else. There's a softness in her eyes, a curiosity in her body language, a rhythm in her responses that says, "I'm not just hearing you, I'm feeling you." This kind of attention is a surrender of energy, and when a woman gives that kind of focus consistently, repeatedly, even when unnecessary, it's no accident. It's a signal. Clue number 2, she mentions you to others, even when she doesn't mean to. This one always sneaks up quietly. You'll hear it secondhand. Maybe someone tells you, "Oh yeah, she mentioned something funny you said." Or she herself will casually say, "I told my friend about that thing you said last week," and then laugh it off like it's nothing. But what you're really hearing is this. You're occupying space in her internal world. You're not just someone she interacts with. You're someone her mind returns to. She replays conversations. She references you in stories. She starts to insert you subtly into the private parts of her life. This doesn't mean she's being disloyal, but it does mean something. Her boundaries start to shift. In her brain has tagged you as emotionally significant, and that's the first step toward attachment. The key detail, she'll usually try to brush it off. She'll downplay it because she doesn't even realize how often you come up. But a high-value, grounded man hears it clearly. Even when you're not around, you're on her mind. And if a married woman is thinking about you more than she admits, it's because you're reaching a part of her that isn't being reached elsewhere. Clue to 3, her boundaries start to shift around you, but only you. Most women, especially married ones, have clear boundaries. They don't share certain parts of their life. They don't allow physical closeness. They don't drift into late-night conversations or private emotional territories. But with you, she starts to make small exceptions. Maybe she stays a little longer after everyone else leaves. Maybe she replies to messages a little faster and a little more playfully. Maybe she opens up about her marriage, her fears, or her frustrations, things she wouldn't normally share with another man. You'll notice it in her timing, in her tone, in the way she becomes slightly softer when you're around. She may even tell herself it's nothing, that it's just friendship. But the truth is, her emotional walls are lowering. Not because you pushed them down, but because you pulled them down by being the man she subconsciously trusts and maybe even craves. And this is the most dangerous clue. Not because it's wrong, but because it's real. When a married woman starts making space for you, when her emotional boundaries shift, that's not random. It's a quiet confession, the kind she'll never say out loud. Clue number 4, she lights up differently. When you're near, you've seen it before. The woman who's polished, composed, and completely in control until you walk into the room. Suddenly, her energy shifts, her eyes brighten, her posture straightens, she becomes more animated, more alive, more feminine in your presence. It's as if she suddenly woke up, as if her body started broadcasting what her lips won't dare say. She might start fixing her hair mid-con conversation. She might touch her neck, fidget with jewelry, or play with her sleeve. Also, subconscious signs of attraction. And if you leave the room, she dims again, returns to routine, to restraint, to what she's supposed to be. This isn't seduction, it's emotional contrast, because you bring something into her life that her current relationship no longer does. And her body, her voice, her vibe, they're all screaming it. Even if her words remain perfectly silent, a stoic man doesn't get intoxicated by that light. He simply recognizes what it means and moves forward with awareness, not impulse. She tests the waters. Clue number 5. She tests the waters, then retreats. Quickly, she drops a compliment, something personal, something warm. "You always make me feel better. You're different from most guys, I know. I feel like I can actually talk to you." It's subtle, sweet, but it lingers. And then just as quickly, she pulls back. She changes the subject. She gets nervous. She adds a laugh to neutralize the moment. Anyway, I'm just being silly, but she's not being silly. She's testing to see how you'll react, testing whether you'll lean in or stay grounded, testing whether she crossed a line or simply dance close enough to feel alive again. A woman caught between desire and duty. This back and forth, this push and pull is where most men get confused. But if you're centered in who you are, you'll feel it for what it is. A woman caught between desire and duty. A woman quietly drawn to a man whose presence makes her feel something she hasn't felt in a long time. Not because you tried to make her feel it, but because you walk in truth. And that's what wakes something up inside her. You've just seen what most men go their entire lives never recognizing. The quiet clues, the whispered signals, the moments that never make it into words, but speak volumes in silence. And now you're not just some man walking blind through this world. You're the kind of man who sees the layers underneath. You don't react. You don't fantasize. You observe and you understand. Because attraction from a married woman isn't just about temptation. It's about resonance. Something in you, your energy, your stillness, your masculine presence activated something in her that she forgot was even there. But here's the difference between a man who's grounded and a man who's reckless. The grounded man doesn't chase it. He doesn't try to exploit it. He doesn't let his ego drink from the well of validation. He simply nods and keeps walking. That's power. That's restraint. That's stoicism. You didn't become high value just to collect attention. You became high value so you could lead yourself even when the road is foggy, even when the world offers you shortcuts. So if this video made something click for you, if it confirmed a feeling you couldn't put into words or helped you understand what a woman in your life has been silently projecting, then subscribe to Stoic Paradox right now, because here we don't give you games or gimmicks. We sharpen your perception. We train your masculine frame. We give you the mindset to move through life with silent force and unshakable clarity. Tap that bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Every video is built to give you tools most men don't even know exist. And trust me, the next drop goes even deeper. And if you've ever felt this kind of tension, if you've ever had a married woman send these mixed, subtle, unspoken signals, drop a comment. Not for gossip, for wisdom, because your story might help another man move with strength instead of confusion. Stay grounded, lead with truth, carry presence like a sword, and I'll see you in the next one right here inside Stoicism, Wise Ways.